Hello and welcome to part 2 of recommissioning my weird little Rover 25. In brief, what's needed: cam seals, exhaust, track rod end, shock absorber, boot wiring loom, maybe a couple of tyres, and then it should all be good for MOT. Yesterday got as far as finishing off the engine with its cam seals. Started it up and it didn't sound right. Sounded really lumpy. Sounded a bit like a Super Impreza boxer engine. But come to it this morning and perfectly okay. Weird, eh? Oh, now I can sigh a relief at the engine actually being okay. I can get back to my to-do list. And next on the to-do list, as you may figure out by the back end being jacked up, is of course the rear silencer, the back box to be fitted. Two things can be said about this right now. First thing to be said is that the old one, which snapped off completely, is going to be a relatively easy job to sort out because the nuts I put on there were quite fresh anyway. And the other thing is that this motor really is about due some rust protection in places. That was good. Because I only fitted the middle section of exhaust about a year ago, the two nuts and bolts I used weren't rusted up. So I just took them off. It's going to be the easiest job ever as far as exhausts are concerned. Old bit of exhaust, brand new back box courtesy of Aaron. Okay, it took a bit longer to put it back together than I expected, and that's just because I'd forgotten. It's a make do mend car with all sorts of things, and the two bolts were of different lengths. So on one side it wouldn't reach the side. Figured it out in the end, and now it's on. How will it sound? First turn of the key. Much better. There we go, little friend. I'm going to admit I'm having quite a nice day with this. Now that that engine oil leak is sorted out and I didn't get the timing wrong after all, and the exhaust is now fitted, I can get on and do some of the other things that I don't mind doing quite as much, which are, well, actually the track rod end and the shock absorber. I'm not really interested in doing those, although they need doing. I can't really conjure up any enthusiasm for doing such a job. But the other things, such as cleaning that mould off the seat, definitely. And maybe even the wiring loom, because it has to be done. And I've done them before. And I spent all day doing one before, and then I realised a little trick I could have used, which I will remember now, of course. It's time to tackle that horribly mouldy seat. It's not something I've had to deal with this before. It's always been damp, but I've never had mould in there. So, steam cleaner out. Well, that's a lot better, but how long will it last? Will tomorrow it be mouldy again? Well, maybe. You see, the thing is, sometimes you've just got to keep on getting rid of the mould for it to eventually just give up and go away entirely. Elephant vice. The next thing I'm going to do is tackle that boot loom. What I really feel like doing is going around the back and cleaning it. But this is more important because it'll only get dirty again later on anyway. That's where the boot loom connects to this. That's the other end of the boot loom, and from experience I know this is going to be very, very tricky to get out. So, will this one go in as well as the other one came out? Oh, there we go, new end sorted out, poke through there, just got to feed it all the way through the boot now. I want to take the old one out. One knackered boot loom. Yes, that. Now I'm going to feed this stiff bit of wire through the gap, attach it to the end of the loom, and then pull that through. Okay, that is nicely threaded right through the roof, through the boot rather, and comes out here. And then I shall tape this to that and simply pull it through. It's the next day and illness has taken over. I don't mean the kind of illness where I can't stop defecating or my legs falling off, but just a really horrible sore head round here, in here. Jesus, why can't people just drive on their own side of the road? Nigel. Hello, Nigel. Nigel only looks right when it's clean, so I'm going to have to clean it. But, you know, I don't want to do cleaning videos particularly, so what I'll do is I'll clean two really quickly. I don't think I will ever tire of the way this car shines. Yes, high level brake light not working. That's another thing to investigate. That's enough for one day. It's gone dark, so what does it matter? I'm about to enter probably a traffic jam that'll last half an hour, but I don't really want to hang on at work for another hour and a half just to avoid it, and I feel even more rough than I did do this morning. So here's the thing, if you're watching this video on Saturday, that's because I went home and couldn't handle any editing. If you're watching it on Friday night, it's because I decided not to be such a wuss and just get on with it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for liking the video. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, and thank you for being a channel member. That's the one. Oh dear. This is just like being in my old job. My old job used to finish at 4, come from Salford over this way. It was the worst kind of time to finish because of the traffic building up. It was like, right, is the traffic building up now? Yep, right, you can go home. Oh, thanks for that. So it wasn't that unusual for that 18-mile journey to take like an hour and a half to come back. But sometimes you'd be perfectly okay, and then you got to Littleborough, where now it's only like 2 miles off, and that would take another half an hour. But that only happened if I was over this way at a particular time. Now it doesn't seem to matter what time I'm over here. This is what you have. Sat with the engine off, just queuing up. For part 1 of this video, I did exactly the same thing. Just sat in traffic for ages, waiting, and now of course the level crossing has activated, and that's because there will be a train that will be in the next town or village that's set off. So they put the barriers down because there's going to be a train that's got about 3 or 4 miles to travel before it gets here. People don't jump them so much. Not defending people who jump the lights, but you kind of you can see why people get impatient when you know you're going to be sat there for about 5 minutes for a train just to go by that's going to take 5 seconds.